It's 2 o'clock. I'm Raylene Ramsey. Thousands of high school and primary school students rallied outside Parliament this morning demanding action on climate change. James Shaw says the man who assaulted him on the way to work yesterday was vaguely familiar. The Greens co-leader, sporting a black eye and a cracked eye socket, said he was knocked to the ground. Shaw says the two people who intervened during the attack were brave. He doesn't want security around politicians changed.
I don't think that we should change our procedures just based on one incident. And I do think that one of the great things about New Zealand's political culture is that for the most part we are open and accessible. I like being open and accessible. I like the fact that I can walk to work, and I intend to keep doing so.
This is NewsTalkZB Breaking News.
Yes, we have emergency services responding to an incident at Christchurch's Hagley Park, and joining us now from the newsroom is Scarlett Swetanovich. What do you know?
Well, Andrew, it's a very much an evolving situation at this stage. So we know that emergency services are responding to an incident at Christchurch's Hagley Park. There is dozens of police cars and St John's ambulances at the scene. However, we've had no confirmation from emergency services themselves about just what's going on there. Now, we have been told that this is happening on Deans Ave, which runs alongside Hagley Park, and that this is happening near the There's a mosque along Deans Ave. Whether that has anything to do with that, we're not sure at this stage. It's just a location point. However, we have had a reporter at the Climate March, which has been happening in Cathedral Square on the other side of Hagley Park. She has just said that police have arrived at that and have told the students that are participating in that march that they need to leave town immediately, and they have not said why.
And I thank you so much, Scarlett Swetanovich. So repeating that, we have an evolving situation that is happening in Hagley Park near Deans Ave, which is near the Christchurch Mosque, and we've heard reports of ambulances and police cars, and of course the students who are protesting for climate change have been told to go home. I'm joined now by Ron, who is on Deans Ave. Hello, Ron. What can you see?
Yes, I can see police with guns. I'd say to everybody, all the cars on Blenheim Road, stay away from the area right now. This is quite massive. There are ambulances ready to go. I've been told by a jogger who ran past the mosque that this incident could be happening at the mosque. The Deans Ave is closed off, and there's many people out just stunned and wondering what the heck is going on down here.
Are you undercover, mate?
I'm behind a large tree.
Has a police officer talked to you and told you to get out?
No. I'm further away than that. I'm several hundred metres away, behind a large tree. We were just driving up Blenheim Road towards the city, and then we've just seen the police and ambulance coming from every direction. You say
you've seen police with guns. I mean, how large is the force that you see amassing there?
Well, about 12 police cars at the moment, plus ambulances.
All right.
Yeah, I've just seen there's a lady, looks like she's from the mosque or whatever. She's just running to a family or whatever on the corner of Blenheim Road and Deans Ave. Here.
All right. So do you see many civilians, coming from the mosque? And dare I say it, are they dressed in what you would expect them to be dressed in?
Yes, I do, yeah. I think there are several people out and around the court, on the outside of the outskirts of it.
And would you presume that perhaps there has been a service at the mosque?
I think they have things there all the time during the day, different times. But
I believe it's 5 times a day, yeah. Okay.
I've never seen anything happening there, or it's always been quiet when I've ever driven past. It's a very quiet spot.
Ron, I thank you so much. Ron is a taxi driver, and he was on Deans Ave and Blenheim's Ave, and he has reported seeing police with guns. We've seen St John's ambulance. We've seen a massive number of people there. A jogger has come past and told Ron, the taxi driver, that it was an incident at the mosque. He has seen people who are obviously from the mosque running at some considerable pace away from the scene. We're joined now by Yanni Johansson, who is a Christchurch City Councillor. Hello, Yanni.
Yeah, g'day. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a brief update. I've just come down Brougham Street. Probably 6 or 7 cop cars going past the corner of Montreal and Brougham. Cops there was a policeman with a gun. Looks like they've gone into some housing units of one of the side streets on the southern side of Brougham Street, so not the Montreal side, but the other side.
Could you tell me and the listeners where Brougham Street is in relation to Deans Ave and Blenheim Ave?
Yeah, so if you continue down Brougham Street, and then you basically Montreal, Selwyn, they lead into Morehouse Ave.
Right.
and then Morehouse Ave and Deans Ave. So it's quite a wee way away. It's quite a few blocks away from Deans Ave, but clearly something's going on in that location as well. And I would just encourage people to avoid that area. Not very comforting when you're driving down the street when you see police with guns and a number of police cars going past at high speed. So
you are saying that you have seen police officers going into a property which is separate from the mosque?
I couldn't tell whether it's definitely away from the mosque, and it's near the corner of Montreal and Brougham Street. I couldn't see if they were going into the street or into the property, but there were a number of police officers around. There was one with a gun drawn, as I saw, trying to get traffic to go down Montreal away from where the incident was.
All right, Yanni Johansson, you're a Christchurch City Councillor. This would be shocking for you.
Yeah, I was actually on my way to a meeting and I just rung up to put my apologies in because the traffic was getting bad and, not uncommon, but it was quite frightening, really. And I just would hope and thoughts go out to everyone to stay safe, just stay away. I'm sure the police don't need people rubbernecking and things like this. And as I said, it's in New Zealand, you don't really expect to see police on the main streets with guns drawn. No. So it's a pretty frightening incident. I hate to think what's happened. I have no more details than what I've just seen.
Yanni Johansson, I thank you so much. Yanni Johansson is a Christchurch City Councillor, so just reporting that what we do know that there is an incident in Deans Ave. It is near the mosque. We've heard from Ron, our taxi driver, who has seen a number of police. Oh, Ron is back with us. Ron is back. What can you see, Ron?
The AOS vehicle arrived. Everybody at about 120 kilometres an hour. They arrived, and the next second they turned around. They headed back towards the city. There were several police cars following them. So I think if people in the city, in Christchurch, in the 4 avenues, need to just go home and move away and let the police do their work in the city because they've got their hands full.
All right. Thank you, Ron.
Get off the street and go into the shops or whatever like that until this is sorted out. I'm sure it will get sorted out quickly because everybody is doing their best to get this sorted.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you so much. And I think he has the right advice as well. Remember, this is an evolving situation which we can't confirm because obviously the police are busy with the situation as it unfolds. But what we've heard from Yanni Johansson, the Christchurch City Councillor, is perhaps a property away from the mosque has been invaded. We've heard from Ron, who said that the Armed Defenders Service squad has arrived, but then gone back towards the city to another address. They would be, they're obviously tooled up and they'll be going towards some area where there'd be an clear and immediate danger, and that's near Morehouse. And so that is heading back towards the city. And I think Ron has a very good piece of advice for you all at this moment. Please stay inside and keep away from the streets until we can tell you some more.
This is NewsTalkZB Breaking News.
So we've now received the official confirmation from the New Zealand Police Force with a statement that says there is a serious firearms incident in central Christchurch. Police are currently responding to reports of shots fired in central Christchurch around 1:40 this afternoon. Armed police have been deployed. Police urge anyone in central Christchurch to stay indoors and report any suspicious behaviour immediately to 111, and further information will be released as it becomes available. We're joined now by Nikki. Hello, Nikki.
Oh, hi there. How are you?
Good. What have you seen?
Well, I sort of managed to get caught up in it a little bit. I was heading away from Riccarton just before, and I was going to turn down Deans Ave on my way home, and police cars were surrounding the area, and the Defenders squad had their guns out and were sort of pointing at something. I'm not sure what, but then all of a sudden dozens of police cars turned up. So I thought, get out of the way, and I sort of headed towards Brougham Street to get on the motorway to head back out to Lincoln. And it seemed to follow me. There were police cars all over the show there too, and they had their guns out again and were, I thought they were pointing at a sort of gold-coloured Subaru because it looked like it had parked not very well on the side of the road. So they'd surrounded that car and were negotiating with whoever was in the car. I'm not sure.
Was there any sign of any civilians around, or had everybody scarpeted and it was down to the car and the police?
It was car and police. I think because Brougham Street's quite a busy motorway-ish kind of road, I think they'd done a good job of sort of like stopping people before they'd got out of the cars, and but quite frightening seeing that many police around and armed as well.
Nikki, are you safe now?
I am safe. I'm pulled over the side of the road. I'm now in Prebbleton, so I'm
Good.
just got out of there.
Good.
But my advice would be to everybody just get out. Really.
Get out, stay indoors, do not go out, no rubbernecking whatsoever. Mike joins us now. Mike, what are you seeing?
I'm in the corner of Morehouse Avenue and Manchester Street, and one of the AOS big black jeepy things went tearing down, crossed over the medium strip to get to beat traffic. But there's one of the cops leaning out the side of the car with his AK-47 or whatever it is he's using, hanging out the side of the vehicle going down the middle of town.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And whereabouts were they heading? What direction?
Well, look, that's crazy because within the space of 2 minutes, there's four guys going, four cop cars going west on Morehouse Ave, and then equally there's a whole bunch going east. So I'm not quite sure which direction they're heading in.
All right. Mike, I thank you so much. 0800 80 10 80 is the number to phone if you are seeing anything as we wait for further confirmation. Though a confirmation from the police that a serious firearms incident is happening at the moment. Armed police have been deployed and everyone has been urged to stay indoors. The situation occurred near the Christchurch Mosque. Friday's a very important day for the Islamic faith. It's Jumu'ah Day, a congregational prayer. It's a prayer that Muslims hold every Friday just after noon instead of the Zuhr prayer. And yes, Muslims pray ordinarily 5 times each day, according to the Sun's Sky Path. This incident starting at 1:40. More details to come. It is 2:17. Yes, we are reporting an incident has occurred on Deans Avenue, we believe, and it has also gone to Blenheim Road and then on to Brougham Street. There is armed offender squad personnel. We have seen guns, we have seen St John's ambulance vehicles and a huge police build-up, and we have been told by the police that there is an armed incident in play as we speak, and for everyone to take cover. Ron has been our eyes on the street and joins us once again. What have you seen, Ron?
Yes, I've just been speaking to a man who has family there at the prayer meeting, which starts at 1:30. They usually arrive about 10 to 1. And they meet and greet, and then they have their pre-meeting for about 1 hour and 40 minutes before they leave. So he's very concerned about his family that are all there.
Right. And of course, this incident started at 1:40, so that would have been 10 minutes into that prayer meeting.
Yes.
On their most holy day, the 6th day of the Islamic week. All right, Ron, I can hear the ambulances and the sirens behind you. Stay safe. Leslie, hello.
Yes, I want to add to that. Also in Linwood Avenue, they've got it blocked between Pages Road and Gloucester Street.
Okay.
And they've been pulling people out of a mosque-like thing there, just by where the old KFC building is.
All right.
Opposite Shell Garage.
Okay. Are you concerned?
I am, because I live in the area, but I've just been pulled off Linwood Avenue because I was parked to go through the Hereford Street lights.
Okay, Leslie, I thank you so much for what you have seen. Craig, hello.
G'day there, Andrew. How are you?
I'm very good. What have you seen?
At this point, the police have the roads blocked off to Deans Avenue around the mosque. There are several ambulances going to and from the area. They are all, it's just bedlam out here. It looks as though it must be a serious incident. But yeah, I've seen at least 6 ambulances going in and out of the scene. We're trying to get through the traffic. The police are going to that scene and away from that scene in various directions at very high speed. So it looks as though we may have a terrorist attack here. I would say I'm not, confident on that, but I would say that is what we've got.
All right, well, we'll wait for confirmation of that from the police. And right now we are joined by Chris Lynch, who is NewsTalkZB's morning host from our Christchurch studio. What do you know, Chris?
Hi, Andrew. First and foremost, what we need to remind the Christchurch public listening to this today is some people don't get it. This is a serious police situation. I've just got off the phone from my source at police who said there are people that are trying to get into the central city to see exactly what is happening. That is foolish and irresponsible. My contact says, he says, this is a very serious situation. It is ongoing, and that police efforts and emergency services efforts are being hampered by police trying to actually get to location. So the message is stay out of the 4 avenues of Christchurch. If you don't need to be there, then get out. I can report too that Christchurch Girls High School has gone into lockdown by police. The school there says, according to one blog site, they will continue to provide updates on the website as soon as they get them. The message there for parents is do not go to the school or phone the school. Your phone calls will not be answered until further notice. Their priority, of course, is with the staff and student safety. They will update people as soon as they can on the website when the lockdown has been completed. Andrew.
Thank you so much, Chris. Yes, head east. And, of course, the kids who are protesting as part of the climate change scenario have been told by the police right from the very start to go home, and everyone is saying just stay inside and keep safe. It is 2:24. This is NewsTalkZB. NewsTalkZB. We have an ongoing and evolving situation right now, which started at the mosque on Deans Avenue. To give you some sort of indication where the mosque at Deans Avenue is, it's about 100 metres to the west of Hagley Oval. By the way, we also have the Bangladeshi team. I've been informed by a contact at Sky Sport. The Bangladeshi team is currently at the Hagley Oval as they are preparing for the test. We've had reports of the AOS squad with guns drawn around Deans Ave and then heading down towards Blenheim Road and down towards Brougham Street as well, so basically heading into the city area. We have had reports of 6 or 7 ambulances, and we have had an official confirmation that an incident started at 1:40. I'm joined now by Daniel, who's at Eastgate Mall. What have you seen?
Good afternoon. I was coming down Aldwyn's Road, passed by 3 police cars, including one and an AOS vehicle on the wrong side of the road. And it looks like there's another event, as the lady said a few minutes ago, down by the Shell service station in Linwood Ave, where they've got that area blocked off, and their police officers with rifles at the intersection.
All right, for people outside of Christchurch, could you tell us which way this is developing, which direction this is going?
So this is heading east from the city out towards Linwood, then you head out towards Brighton as you head east from the centre of Christchurch.
So that's gone quite some way from Deans Ave.
Yes, and there is I think there is a small mosque or something similar in that area. So I'm not sure if they're related to what's happening in Deans Ave, but I'm not sure of that last fact.
Okay, well, that's a very interesting thing, which we will then look into, whether there is, in fact, a course of mosque in Linwood Ave. Certainly, Deans Ave is where the Muslim Association of New Zealand has its base and is the main mosque for Christchurch, where we do know there has been an incident. We can report now there are 6 people at Christchurch Hospital and 2 with serious injuries. So we can confirm that there have been injuries. There are 6 people at Christchurch Hospital and 2 with serious injuries. It's 2:28.
Armed police have been deployed near Christchurch's Hagley Park after a number of shots have been fired. An eyewitness says they've seen about 6 people taken into Christchurch Hospital, 2 with serious injuries. There are reports the Bangladesh cricket team was at the mosque for Friday prayer when the shooting started. The players ran across Hagley Park to get away, a source told the New Zealand Herald. 1 player is not yet accounted for. And the Herald has been told there were multiple shooters. The rest of the Bangladesh cricket team is said to be okay. And officers are urging people in central Christchurch to stay indoors and immediately report any suspicious behaviour to 111. Taxi driver Ron is on Deans Ave. He says there's a huge police presence near the mosque.
I can see police with guns. This is quite massive. There are ambulances ready to go.
Now back to Andrew Dickens.
And I thank you so much. And as you heard, reported by Chris Lynch, Christchurch Girls and Christchurch Boys High School and Hagley Community College have been placed into lockdown. And I'm joined now by David, and you've got a daughter in the lockdown.
Yeah, I have. In fact, I've also got an office on Hagley Ave here in Christchurch. Hagley Ave is an area where there is a large pedestrian walkway, and what surprises me is that people are still casually walking along here with all these sirens, clearly not aware that the police are on the other side of the park attending this sad tragedy.
Yes, it's directly across. I mean, it's directly across from the other side of the Oval. It's only about 300 metres away. And
That's right. Well, yes, we can see the Oval from here.
Yeah.
We can't see any police other than there's just been multiple police vehicles, ambulances, the helicopter that's been stationed at the helipad here in Hagley Park. As I say, what's amazing is that there are people using the cycleway that's in the lockdown. I'm totally unaware.
Yeah.
So if people are at risk, and we have no reason to disbelieve that isn't the case, then I'm surprised the police haven't found a way of stopping people and making them aware. So we're doing that. A couple of residents are telling people to clear out of the area now. It's warning people to move through here very quickly, or if they're heading in the area where the incident is, we're saying, do not go there.
Yeah, good advice, but of course, some people might not have the radio on and they're just going through Hagley Park, blithely unaware of what might be coming down. Have you so were you instructed to put your office into lockdown?
Well, I spoke to the police control because I have a daughter who's also at Christchurch High School. Yeah. We automatically, as parents, receive text to say that there's a lockdown. This is not a practice. My daughter's phoned me and is under a desk right now with friends and a teacher. Obviously, there's so much uncertainty. They don't know, obviously what is going on and what the risks are. But there is some talk the offenders have vacated the area, but we just don't know that. So we have to be guided by the police.
Absolutely. Stay absolutely put. You've done exactly the right thing, David, and I thank you so much for phoning us. And it'll all be great. Your daughter's in the safest place to be.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Good on you. So we have an evolving situation that according to police, started at 1:40 this afternoon. We understand from our contacts that, in fact, a prayer session started at 1:30. We understand that members of the Bangladeshi cricket team decided to attend that prayer session at 1:30. And that when the incident started at 1:40, they made their escape across Hagley Park back towards Hagley Oval. We also have reports that one member of the Bangladeshi cricket side is still unaccounted for. We have reports that 6 people have been taken to Christchurch Hospital, which thankfully, of course, is just across the park from where the incident unfolded. And 2 have been taken there with serious injuries. We have had no confirmation of any casualty or any fatalities at this stage, and we will wait to see as we get more advice. We've also had reports, though, interestingly enough, of extreme police action in Linwood, which is quite some way away from Deans Ave, down as you head to east. I can also tell you that there is, in fact, a mosque in Linwood as well. But that, again, is unconfirmed reports that we've had from eyewitnesses on site. We've also had reports that there was police action down through Blenheim Road, down to Brougham Road as well, and action around residences in that area. We've also heard that from one witness that a gold Subaru had been surrounded by AOS staff as well, and that there was some attention happening there. As I say, it's an evolving situation, and we thank all of our eyes for telling us the story, but we warn and remind you that the police have said to keep away from the area. They're concerned that people are going there to rubberneck. Meanwhile, we're now joined by Chris. Hello, Chris. What have you seen?
G'day, mate. I've just been turned away from Brown Street, as Yanni Johansson, the councillor from Christchurch, was saying. It is quite a situation. They've handcuffed some people and taken them away. They obviously have pushed a car off the road, a four-wheel drive, a silver one. So it's obviously very close to Antigua and whatever. So people coming into the city on Brown have probably got to turn off and go towards Barrington and around that way or the other way. They're not going to let them. It's going to be very difficult coming into the city, and obviously you don't want to come into the city with so many police with rifles and whatever. You just don't know at the moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Chris. I can tell you that, now who is Mohammed Izam? Mohammed Izam is ESPN Cricket Info's Bangladeshi correspondent. And he is here to cover, of course, the Bangladeshi cricket side who are playing the test at Hagley Oval over the course of this weekend. And he has just posted on Twitter a video of the Bangladeshi team walking back through Hagley Park, and he has written, Bangladesh team escaped from mosque near Hagley Park where there were active shooters. They ran back through Hagley Park and back to the Oval. And it will attract the eyes of the world because a national cricket side has now been swept up in it. 22-3. Yes, well, welcome to this evolving story regarding shots being fired around the Christchurch Mosque at Deans Ave, and also action taken in other areas. The AOS is out. Friday, by the way, and I've mentioned this before, the 6th day in the Islamic week. The literal meaning of Friday is congregation. In Islam, this day is given the most importance than any other day of the week. And every Friday, the prayer of Jummah is offered, and for this prayer, special time is taken. There was a prayer service that started at 1:30. This incident started at the mosque at 1:40 this afternoon. The Bangladeshi team in attendance. So, we now go to our Christchurch newsroom with Chris Lynch and Rachel Das.
Andrew, latest information coming into us here at the station. This is just breaking news. Police have just said in response to this serious ongoing firearms incident in central Christchurch, we now can tell you all Christchurch schools have been placed into lockdown. I repeat, all Christchurch schools have been placed into lockdown. This is no joke. Police urge anyone in Central City to stay off the streets and report any suspicious behaviour immediately to 111. I know this is really tough news for the people of Christchurch listening to this as we go live to air this afternoon. But parents, if you are listening to this, the information that we can take away from this is keep out. Do not go and pick your child up from school. This is an active situation, a serious firearms situation. Andrew, I can also tell you that the brand new Christchurch Central Library has been placed into lockdown. I've seen some images that have come through onto my Facebook pages of people looking very panicked. The Christchurch police are doing an excellent job trying to keep people calm, but the Central Library in Christchurch has been placed into lockdown. Early reports suggested the first school placed in lockdown was indeed Christchurch's Girls High School. The message that we can't stress enough to parents, and I know this is really tough to hear, but do not go to any Christchurch school or pick up your child. That's the message from police. I want to bring in our reporter Rachel Duss, who's with us here at the NewsTalkZB Christchurch newsroom. Rachel, your husband is at the Christchurch Hospital, and he's been telling you some serious information too. What has your husband told you, Rachel?
Yeah, Chris, I've been speaking with him at the hospital. So evidently outside the emergency department, police cars raced in at about 2 p.m. with armoured shields with guns, telling everyone to get out. So last I knew at 2:15 they were guarding the Christchurch Emergency Department. Eyewitnesses say that about 6 patients have been taken into hospital so far, 2 with very serious looking injuries. So it's pretty crazy out there. The traffic is blocked up. There are police cars, sirens, ambulances racing all over the road. So those messages from police to stay away are definitely something to be listening to. Indeed. And Andrew, just repeating that news again, that all Christchurch schools in the Christchurch City Council area have been placed into lockdown. Parents, please keep away. We'll bring you more information from our Christchurch newsroom as soon as we have it.
And I thank you so very, very much. It is 16-3, and as we reported earlier, and I have confirmed through an ESPN Cricket Info correspondent, the Bangladeshi team was at the mosque and made their escape. And we're joined now by Radio Sports cricket commentator Brian Waddle, who is with the team at Hagley Oval. What can you tell us, Brian?
I can tell you that everybody's in lockdown here at the Oval, including the majority of the team. Apparently, 22 of them are here too.